Hello, it's Jang here with a look at a LEGO Bionicle set. This is Skull Basher, a 72-piece set. So there's your Skull Basher, and let me not mince words. This is a Minotaur, an undead Minotaur demon thing. Even officially, LEGO refers to the head as a bull skull. So it is proper, and it is trying to be exactly what it looks like. That is a good thing. And I think that it looks quite good. You see that the main accent color is purple. Purple! For folks who have been a fan for quite a long time, you remember that gag. I appreciate the stance, I appreciate the proportions of the thing, and you see it does also come with the corrupted mask of Earth there. I'll take a closer look at that later on, but first focusing on the figure. Now, one especially interesting thing about this one is that it has an action feature unlike anything that we saw in the first wave. This one has kind of disjointed shoulders or dislocated shoulders, and it's able to have a slashing motion or a bashing motion side to side. So you see how that's all just kind of able to move around slightly freely, and depending upon how you pose the hands like this, you just have to kind of watch out for the lower bits of the handles down here, make sure that those don't interfere too much with the armor pieces down at the base. But you see you can kind of get a slash coming from the side, but you can also make both arms move at the same time by just pushing the whole thing in. So you can get kind of a thunderclap kind of motion, or you can just bash the two sides together at the same time. The only bad thing here is that there's not quite enough friction, to be honest, to really pull that off for a long time in these upper shoulder joints. So if you try to pose the arms up a little bit, eventually they'll just sag down, sag down, sag down, just from the weight and from the inertia of it all. So just a little bit of flimsiness there. You just have to kind of work with that. I also personally recommend taking off these lower ends because they do start to interfere. If they move around, they can get caught on these lower armor add-on pieces and such. Speaking of which, those armor add-on pieces down here are intended to look like fur. And I think that makes sense. Like, you would have tufts of fur. Just imagine if Minotaurs were real and you had one that was underground, you know, it died and it was buried and it was underground for some time and started to decay away. Hair doesn't decay at the same rate. So you would still have some tufts of hair after quite a long time relative to the rest. So you get these bones that are just exposed, and then you get big tufts of hair in various places. I think they've done a really good job of approximating that. I think it's realistic. If Minotaurs were real, this is how an undead Minotaur would actually look coming out of the ground. You get the trans purple rib cage piece back there, which looks pretty awesome. Not the biggest fan of this particular print right here. I think it goes kind of tries to blend into the shapes of the rib cage there, but the colors don't quite work for me here with the magentas and the reds. I don't think that was the best choice, and also the bright silver color that's used in there. The mask that's used here is a medium silver one. It's not quite as shiny as some of the other medium silver parts that are included in sets in this wave. For instance, the head underneath there, and also the torso and the skinny bone pieces. Those are just more bright, more properly metallic, I would say. And the mask is just the part in the front. So if you knock that off, you're not going to get all the horns to actually come off. And these are just the purple Ben 10 tail pieces. The figure has two identical hook axes that you just use that one single piece, and they just have very simple little ends on them for their handles, and it's an effective design. And then I'm really happy that they went back to the old idea of the corrupted masks. I think that it's a cool concept. I really liked the collectible various types of corrupted and changed masks that they made in the past, and this one has the purple color coming into it from the Skull Basher, but of course that also fits with Onua's color scheme. So you get kind of a double match there, and obviously this is based on the fully powered up golden mask version. And there's how that looks actually on Onua, the full-sized figure. So it definitely does look a little bit funky. Doesn't quite fit into the color scheme as well as I expected it to, and that's a good thing because you don't want it to look too intentional. It still looks strange, it still looks infected, it still looks corrupted. It doesn't look like kind of a cross with just different colors from him. So I think that's a good thing. The build for this Skull Basher was fairly straightforward and simple, except for the kind of unexpected design of the mechanism on the back. I did not see that one coming. I kind of didn't look ahead to see how that was all going to work out, and I'm happy with it. I think that it's a good attempt. It's a good thing to try. I do wish that there was a little bit more friction in just a couple of those joints to make it work out a little bit better, but I feel like you can still work with it, even for more aggressive play. Like I said, especially if you take off just the lower parts of those handles, it gives you a lot more room to mess around with your posing of the arms, and also that action feature doesn't really get in the way of proper posing. You still get full use of all of your ball joints. Though this is a relatively small villain set, I think it's still pretty well done. Those are just my thoughts though. Please share your thoughts by leaving a comment down below. Also be sure to check out the video description for answers to the most frequently asked viewer questions. Full, complete, detailed answers. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be talking to you again very soon.